本栏目由长荣房地产公司冠名播出，感谢开仕达国际集团、盛达地产特别赞助播出。
Hello everyone, here is the ACM special column TV show Invest to America. We know every year at the beginning, and we were all talking about what's trending on this year, especially about such as real estate and also stock market. Also, we all know this year has a Trump has a new tax policy, so that's why it's more interesting and maybe more challenging. So today we have our special guest, Madlin.
Hi.
Hi. So she's the broker of independent company. I know her a long time ago, and she's very professional and has so many experience in real estate company. Please tell us more about your background.
Okay, I've been a broker for the past 12-13 years in the Rockville area. I did sell a lot of, I work with bank mostly. I work with a lot of bank. I work with several banks, so I sell their foreclosures. So, and I deal with a lot of investors, and we have in our office actually many groups of investors and agent at the same time. Like there's a gentleman that they have, I don't know, at any given time they have like 4 or 5 buildings in DC that they are selling as an investment, but they are agents in our office too. So we have a good experience in investment and housing, different than any other real estate company, different than any other real estate agency, because mainly I work with banks. So because I work with bank, they require me to take different classes, different education, and then I do meet with the banks, and we meet like we always try to project a year or two what's going to be happening in the market ahead of time, because they have to be prepared to what's going to happen to their housing. So we have a little bit more information than regular agents because of,
that's why we're so glad to have you here. You can give us more and more suggestions to our audience. I remember last year, 2017, at the beginning, I did interview you and also your agent, Mark Lee. And I also remember both of you also predicted about the DC metropolitan areas real estate market. I remember at that time you all said that in the College Park it's a hot area, but choose that that area. I know the College Park, the housing is raised a lot. So
it went up very drastically. Drastically. College Park, I lived in College Park over 22 years ago, and I know exactly how much the housing market was there. And in fact, when I started even selling in College Park, some of the houses I sold like for 60,000 or 100,000. Now those houses are going for 300,000-400,000. The same houses are going for 300,000-400,000.
Exactly.
So College Park area had improved and had gone up a lot. Same thing with Hyattsville area. Hyattsville area, I remember selling houses there for 30,000. Believe it or not, 30,000. 5-bedroom single family house. Now that house is like 400,000 or 500,000 in Hyattsville. So the market has changed. PG market has changed a lot. I am expecting I'm expecting a big development in Montgomery County market as well, because of actually 2 things. Okay. First of all, we have in Montgomery County, we are the Silicon Valley for all the biotech companies. So all Human Genome, all the biotech companies, their headquarters is right there in Rockville, and in I don't know if in this area between Key West and 28, right there. The other thing that is gonna make Montgomery County more hot in that area, that section, is that Johns Hopkins are doing joint venture with NIH.
Oh,
and both of them, they are doing joint venture for research, because NIH ran out of space, and they don't want to be in Bethesda, so they are opening more and more buildings. There are already 2 buildings for Cancer Institute, and it is Hopkins and NIH, and there is a farm there actually, and that farm, the county is advertising that that farm to be the mega, they call it mega medical center, which is gonna be I think 8 to 10 high-rise buildings in right on 28 and Muddy Branch Road, and that is gonna be again for Hopkins. And I believe at least 1 or 2 of those buildings, they're going to be Hopkins and NIH at the same time. Again, this is all joint for medical research. So with the human genome, with all Celera and all those companies that are specialized in biotech, and with Hopkins moving to Montgomery County, part of their research buildings, and with NIH, I think it's going to be great for Montgomery County.
So it means that this year Montgomery County will be a hot
I think
area
Montgomery County, until now, they did not do the groundbreaking for that medical center, because there is like a minor legal dispute about it. But you know, as soon as we see the groundbreaking in that area, I think the prices over there is going to go up drastically, for the reason that those medical centers, they are all research, which means they are all, the people that work there is all scientists and high salary, high quality buyers. Those people, they don't like to drive away too far from their work location, because they work for a very long time in research, and so yeah, the prices of the prices of the market in that area is going to go up a lot. That's my opinion.
Okay, so speaking of that, we know this year it's I would say it's a challenge, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Yes.
So because of Trump's new tax policy, so what do you think, and how does his new tax policy impact to real estate industry?
It is gonna actually, it may have a little bit of impact on our industry. Well, it may have minor impact. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried more about the China security issue than the tax bill.
Right.
Well, the tax bill, what's going to happen is, with the tax bill is, you know, because we are getting deductions somewhere else, you know, the companies, mostly the companies, the small companies are going to benefit from that. And they will be getting a lot of tax deduction. But they have changed, so we can claim less items are tax deductible, and there is a percentage, like, you know, for what we can claim. It's less than what it used to be before, and it's not gonna impact the smaller housing. It will impact more of the higher end housing and high taxes, not the you know, I don't believe we're gonna see much impact for less than 500,000 houses. Okay, and plus, you know, it will still be for any buyer. It will still be that it's better for them to buy a house. Yes, it's gonna cost them more, but it will still be better for them because they own that house. This is a great saving, and that money is not going on the rent for nothing. So, and they still can do some tax deduction. It's not going to be nothing. It will be still tax deduction. But as I said, the big impact is going to be on the bigger houses, on, I think, houses above $1 million, 800 to $1 million. Those are the houses that they may be impacted a little bit more. But you know, those are the people that they have money, and if they have money, they really don't care if they're going to pay a little bit more taxes, or
maybe just invest under $1 million
yeah,
house.
or
it's
maybe
better.
invest, yes,
Right.
you know. but it's not going to be a big impact in my opinion. I will be worried more about how the development is going to be if China, since China a couple of days ago they decided that they're not going to buy the US securities. But you know, I don't know if that is going to stick. I really believe that is going to change. I don't think it's gonna you know, be for too long. I don't think so.
Yeah, but so on the other hand, when the last year 2017, the house price they increased 7% in average, but they say it will continue increase this year. So also I heard, I just read some news and also said half of the house they are overvalued, is overpriced. Do you think it's that bubble or it's a normal?
Okay, it always boils to supply and demand. Okay, is it high? Yes, it is high. The housing market is high. Is it a bubble? It may be a bubble, but even if this bubble is gonna burst, it's not gonna be as before. We're not gonna have the same what happened in 2005 and 6 and 7. It's not gonna happen again. If anything, the market may slow down a little bit, but what is so interesting now that we have so many loan programs, and those loan programs is pushing more and more for someone to afford housing. So before 80-20 program was gone over 10 years ago, because which means with 80-20 people, if they want to buy a house that is not FHA approved, but they can buy conventional, with conventional you have to put down 20%. Well, you know, guess what? If someone doesn't have 20%, they can buy it, but now they have those programs back, which those programs were used heavily in the beginning of 2000, like 2000 to 2005 and 6, they will be used a lot, which is 80-20, which means that you get two loans, the first loan for 80% and then the second loan for 20%. Basically, you can go buy a house for $800,000-900,000 without you putting a penny down.
Yeah, I know, even you don't need to pay that much down payment, but you know the mortgage rate, it's
exactly
it's high, and also they say eventually will going up.
So here is what could happen. So again, I don't know how the trade, the security issue trade with China is going to be. That may increase the interest rate a little bit. So if the interest rate increased a little bit, then the housing market may slow down a little bit.
Oh, you mean the interest rate?
If we still don't know how much the impact is gonna be. So far, we have records in the stock market, record heights last year, and it's unfortunate that no one is reporting this. But last year, anyone that is involved in the market, anyone involved in investing in stock market, they know that we have a record high. This year, the stock market, everything went up drastically. Never went up that much in 1 year, but it all went up in 1 year, which is of course due to all the confidence that the market has because we have a Trump. So, but no one is reporting that because not many news media like to give Trump a credit for what he's doing. Don't forget, Trump did already $495 billion deal with Saudi Arabia. That is money. This is money, big money to our economy. They signed that deal, and it's gonna take an effect. So do you know how many companies are gonna be involved in this deal, and how many people will be benefiting from this big contract that he signed with them? Then we have another contract coming, which is he's negotiating. I believe it's almost done. Another $25 billion with South Korea. And every company here, I think it's gonna be for some makeup and some other small companies. So every company is right now that in the US that work with the same trade, they are running to see how they can benefit from those contracts. So, you know, we have $25 billion that South Korea is supposedly going to buy from us on top of $495 billion that Saudi Arabia already bought. So, okay, so we are at what? Now we are at $520 billion within 1 year income to our country. This is great, you know. So that's why I made the house. That's why the investors and the stock market was very high because of this, because of all this confidence. So we have, so all that is great, but again,
for the home buyers, I feel like it's for you know, the housing price is going up, mortgage rate is going up. So for the home seller, it's a good news. They can sell for money.
Exactly.
But for the home buyer, it's challenging.
It's challenging.
Because I also I heard some people they just maybe graduated from school a couple years. They say their salary just. So look like the house market, it's going up with twice of their salary increase.
Yes.
So it's,
it is hard, but again, if the interest rate goes up a little bit, the housing market is gonna slow down, which the pricing won't keep going up.
Okay.
If the interest rate goes up a little bit, the housing market is gonna slow down, and it will be less of a seller market, may level for a little bit. So, you know, depending depending on how everything is going to play with the securities and with the you know, whether China is going to stick and say, okay, we're not going to buy securities, we're not going to trade securities or not, you know. But I don't think it's gonna, I really don't think it's gonna be big effect maybe, but it may be like minor effect, because we have a lot going on with the economy, a lot of big improvement in the economy. As I said, we have 520 billion already first year. First year is in office, we have that much, and I know we're gonna have more.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, that's the truth. Look like under Trump's administration, the economy is going up, and the more job opportunity it's bring to this country.
Exactly.
So hopefully our salary, everybody's their salary is going up soon, and they can afford their house.
There is one more thing that there is the two pipelines. That there was, you know, now it's a go. So, you know, the Keystone Pipeline, it's a go. And then if he cancel NAFTA, which means it's less people. Before, I think in the end of 1990s, when we had the Y2, you know, where everyone was worried about changing from 1900 to 20 with their tech and computers, so they went and they signed a lot of deals with to bring workers from outside the U.S., especially IT workers.
Right.
Well, now they're saying is not needed, and we don't need to bring anyone. So there are way more regulations and way more strict rules about bringing workers from outside US. And then we have the NAFTA deal, which is NAFTA that Obama did, which is with I think not Obama, I think it was done before Obama. We have the NAFTA that where we can exchange workers with Canada and Mexico, and that is going to be gone too. So there is more work here, whether it's from the contract, whether it's from the two big contract that Trump signed, or whether it's from the two pipelines. There's the Keystone Pipeline, and then the other thing is there were a lot of places where we had freeze on drilling for oil. Trump removed this freeze. So so we're gonna have more oil, local oil is gonna be done. So that is more employment and more income as well.
That's good. That's all good news.
That's all good news. Yes.
Right. So, but we are talking about their house. I know that they also in 2017 the reason for the house price is increased because of it's a high demand and also low supply. So do you think in this year 2018 it's gonna be the same situation or it's gonna be improved?
It is very hard to say. I really think if we're not gonna go up, we're gonna stay steady a little bit, but depending again on the interest rate. But I think we have a lot going on nationally that can affect the housing market. Okay, so we have something else going on where Trump is saying that he's gonna improve all the infrastructure. If that is gonna happen, those are all contracts, and it's gonna be throughout the whole United States. Is not going to be only in one area, not the other.
Right.
So building all those infrastructure with it, which he wants to have a budget to improve all the bridges, improve all the infrastructure, improve roads and all this. This is all money. You know, working on any small road is like at least $1 million, and I'm talking about like half a mile road. So imagine if they're gonna work and have all this big project to improve all the bridges and all the highways and all the infrastructure. That is going to be a lot of money. Then we have something else, again, no one is paying attention to. We have Hurricane Harvey that hit. So we have Florida, Puerto Rico, and Texas hit hardly. So when those places are all gone, those houses mostly all gone, what's gonna happen? We're gonna have to rebuild. So when you rebuild, again, that's money. That's money is being pouring in all those states. We have the fires. We have very bad fires in California. We have areas, I mean, the fire that happened 2 months ago in California wiped out a whole city.
Yeah,
I mean, a whole city.
Yeah, I watched that news.
Yeah, and those houses all like in the millions. They're not even the 100,000. They are several millions. Those houses. Imagine, you know, the build-up. So, you know, a lot of people said, okay, well, you know, it may be that we're gonna have people moving out of the affected area with either wildfire or hurricane and all this. I don't know how many people are willing to move out of the same state. There may be percentage that, you know, that they got hit in Texas and they decided, okay, they don't want to stay in this area, they want to go to other area that has less hurricanes. But that percentage is not as big. It's going to be. And on top of that, even though if people are moving out of those areas because they lost their houses or because they don't want to be in hurricane area or fire area, but then we have other people that they're going to be moving to that area, and those are the workers that they're going to be working towards rebuilding everything. So I think it's going to be a wash, you know. People are moving out, but then we have people moving back in, you know. I don't believe the contractors that they have in San Antonio are going to be enough, and I believe there will be many companies from outside Texas that they will be moving or bringing their project and their employees to Texas to rebuild what Harvey did, and same thing with Florida. And then we have 80% of Puerto Rico got destroyed. Can you imagine 80%? You know how much rebuild is going to be done there?
Right.
That is going to be so much money is going to be poured in that area. And then we have the fires in California. We have huge areas like two 2 months ago, the fire took all Napa Valley, mostly Napa Valley, took all the wine country, took 2 whole cities, like totally gone. So this is again a lot of project. I was talking to one of the insurance adjusters that came from up north, and he was telling me that they had to stay in hotels, and people that work in that area, that their business still going, did not get affected by the fire. They have to drive 3 hours to get there. 3 hours, can you imagine? People are taking hotels 200 and 300 miles away from where they work. So they can, you know,
it's
go
very
back.
hard.
It is very hard. So, but you can imagine how much it's gonna be. So I'm guessing it's gonna be a lot of booming in that area as well.
Right. So it means in 2018, this year, it's more home supply, especially some new construction.
It's gonna be, well, you know, the new construction is not gonna be able to be enough to compensate on what we lost. And I'm talking about the state that got affected by the hurricane or natural disaster, which is California. Even if there was new homes going to be built, it's not going to be enough to cover. They have to rebuild what's gone, and what's gone was a lot. So I don't know if it's going to be enough. So that area still, same thing with Puerto Rico, same thing with Texas, Hurricane Harvey. So the only thing that you know, that I think it will stay the same is Florida, because it was like a different unique situation in Florida before, because Florida, all the occupants in Florida are people that they have as a second home. Most of the occupant is for people that they have a second home. It's not a prior, you know, the main home. It's different than Puerto Rico or California or Texas. So that's why, you know, the effect in Texas is totally different than the effect in, in Florida is totally different than Texas and California and all the other, you know, area that were affected by natural disasters.
But I know those areas such as Florida, Miami, and Texas. But Texas, Las Vegas, also Los Angeles, including Washington D.C. They say the price of the house
Washington D.C.
is higher than other states.
Washington D.C. They did. I mean, Washington D.C. This plan to change Washington D.C. has been going on for 20 years. So, you know, Washington D.C. was nation capital, and many area in Washington D.C. was like really a very bad neighborhood in the past. They not anymore. I know I sold a condo in Southeast D.C. 4 years ago for $22,000. That same condo is $210,000 now. Can you imagine if someone bought that condo for $22,000 and then 4 years later it's $210,000?
Oh.
So, you know, we have big major companies that moving into DC, which is Microsoft is one of them. They're gonna have near the Anacostia in DC, they're gonna have a big headquarters. We have the casino in the National Harbor. You know, the MGM are building the casino in the National Harbor. We have a lot of new big new major development in our area. So I don't know if we will see much of an effect on the housing market or housing to slow down. I think it may go up or may stay stable.
So overall, what's your prediction of the 2018 real estate and the housing market?
I think it's gonna. So far, it's looking good. Like, I have a house right now listed. It's been listed for a very long time. I believe it's overpriced. It's one of the bank owned, and suddenly last week, and we're not even in the spring market, and suddenly last week we got 4 offers on it, and the week before I had another house that I got 8 offers on it. So you know, any houses that are below 500, they are going quickly so far.
So okay, so what's your suggestion to the home buyer, including me? I don't know. I said, oh, the price is going up. When should I buy? When should I look for the house?
It's you know, that's I wish I have the answer. I would be a billionaire because I would have gone buy a lot of stuff. But I say just get educated about the area that you are buying. Make sure that you work with someone you trust. Make sure whoever you work with is someone that you really trust and someone is knowledgeable, because if you know what is the surrounding of the house, what is the surrounding of that area that you are buying, then you know some areas, if the market goes down, some area obviously is going to be hit more than other areas, depending on what's going on in those areas. So you know, some areas will be more affected, you know, than others. So you know, it's mainly, I will say, just be careful and make sure you know all the surrounding and everything going on around the place that you are buying.
Okay, thank you. I hope those all information will help you and give you more. I know, Madlin, you always share with us a lot of very useful information. And thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem. Anytime. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
大家好，我是 Madlin，我在大华府做房地产的经营投资有20多年经验，我的业务覆盖马州、维州和 DC。我们公司的主要专长是 REO、Auction、Foreclosure、Short Sale、Tax Sale 等等。我们公司提供从购买、经营到售后出租一条龙服务。有意跟我们合作的当地和海外的投资人，请致电301-592-7550。
物格、资质、议程、新政、长荣地产。
地产理财，移民留学，开始达国际集团。
追求卓越，盛达地产。